Hi everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how I've made this slide and hide card. It's basically like a double slider, any kind of slider cards that you may have made. I've just changed it slightly. So you just pull the tab here and then it reveals your little sentiment at the bottom, Easter celebrations. I've just pulled together mixed up stamps really. These are from my Woodland collection and I've got this egg stamp, I've got some smaller egg stamps. They're all from different collections, and even the carrots from a different collection, but they all work really well together. I've made the rolling heels, I'll show you how to do that, a little bit of stenciling, and no specialty dies are needed to make the main mechanism work. You know, you can then decorate it however you want. I think it's going to work for lots of themes. I can see a Halloween theme working well with this, and you can have like the word boo popping out, or maybe some spiders. I don't know, and great for a Christmas scene. I can see Father Christmas, like a silhouette of the sleigh, and then all like Christmas presents and maybe the rooftops and things like that. So lots and lots. I definitely want to revisit this and just decorate it in a different way, maybe do a different orientation, and then you just slide that down. I am going to make some changes with the next one because I'm not so keen on this being so blank when they take it out of the envelope. But the idea that I've got it like that is so that you can have it open and then still displayed. So if you want to shift this down so that this comes off the bottom, you can, but then you just have to close it up, you know, in order for them to then display it. So there's lots of ways again to change this. So let's get started. So for this one here, I used my Woodland scenes. So you've got the little squirrel, the hedgehog, the bunny, the birds, you've got the deer there, and then the little mouse. So I just pulled out a few of them. And then for this one, I'm still going to use these smaller critters, but I've taken the two here which are very sweet, and I've got everything already here to use. So I just thought those two together above like the Easter would look really nice. I've used my chunky alphabet dies for the large Easter, and then for the celebrations I've used this set here, which is my sentiment set. That was when I done the Creative Cuts collection, I think. So they're kind of mix and match words, so you can make your own sentiments, so it worked well with that one there. So that's most of the supplies. So you're going to want a 5x7 card blank. I've got this yellow piece here. If you're cutting it from scratch, this is a piece of 10x7, and then score along that 10-inch side at 5 inches. This piece inside is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then because I didn't like the plain kind of space here, I've got this one for this one that I'm going to make now. This is again that same size, so 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I've used my cloud stencil here. So just sat it on the top. I've gone over it with the mustard seed distress oxide, and then because it's a repeat pattern, I just moved it down until it joins up again, and then you can just carry on the bottom part. So that one I'm going to stick onto there in a minute. And then these are all the pieces you need for the mechanism. So for the pull piece, so this piece that I've stenciled here, this is this piece. So this could be pattern paper if you want, but this is 4 by 4 1/4. It's the 4-inch width. That's the orientation that you want it to be. And I'm going to be doing some more stenciling in a minute because I want to redo that design there. Then for the rolling heels here, now you can just have this one piece. This is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. You can see that pretty much goes across that section there. So if you just want a rectangle to stamp or do whatever, then that's the size you'll need. So that's 4 1/4 by 3, and then this is the smaller piece, 4 1/4 by 1 3/4, and I'll show you how to just shape those, and they're going to be layered on top, and then the Easter is going to be along the bottom there. This is for the piece that pops out the bottom here. So this piece is 4 by 2 1/4, and then this piece that I've heat embossed is 3 3/4 by 2. So I'm going to stick that one on top. So I've just heat embossed it first using some white embossing powder, and that's Celebrations. Stick that onto there, and then that's ready for us to attach to the mechanism piece, which is this one here. So this is a piece of 4 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then just grab yourself a pencil and a ruler, and you want to mark along all the sides. You're going to come in 1/4 inch from each side. So put a pencil mark at 1/4 inch, and then at 4 1/4, and do that again on this side, and then just join up your markers, and then along the short side 1/4 inch, and then 2 1/4. Do the same along the bottom, and then join up those pencil marks. These now are just cutting lines. You want to cut down along the long side, these ones here, and then you're going to cut along. Make sure it's nice and straight. I think I've gone down a little bit, so I'm just going to carry on. There we go. Like so. And just do that again at this end. Okay, like so. So that's the mechanism. Now for this to work, you need some plastic. So I've got sandwich bags here. This is the bit left over from the one I used for this one, but they're just small resealable freezer bags, sandwich bags, food bags, whatever they're called. Just a soft plastic, even a carrier bag. You can also use the plastic that you pop your cards in, maybe if you're selling your cards or you just like them to be protected. So what you want to do is first of all trim the plastic so it's just under 4 inches wide. So you can get 2 out of this size bag here. So just under 4. You just want it to be able to slide within that section. So 3 7/8 would be fine, but I'm literally just coming in just under 4. In fact, to get this piece of plastic used, I'm going to do, it'll be 3 7/8 because it just comes along that bottom bit there. I'm then going to just trim off one of the sealed ends there, keeping everything nice and straight. There we go. Okay, so now you've got this long piece of plastic. You don't see any of this, so it doesn't matter if it's got, you know, the writing on there. You can get 2 again now from this piece. So what we're going to do is fold this one over. I'm just going to bring in some cards so you can see it all better. So I've just popped my mechanism over the top of the plastic there, and then just take some thin tape. You want to try and make sure the end here is, you know, as straight as you can get it, because it's just easier then for you to stick your tape. Make sure all your tape goes on the plastic. You don't want any of it to overhang. I'm just running my tape all along the bottom there, and then just remove the release paper there. Keep that again nice and flat. You don't want to pull it so tight that it's going to struggle to move around this piece. So just so it all folds around nicely, and then I'm just going to kind of sit that across my hand and then just roll it down over that piece. So you can see now how that's connected. So that whole piece now is just around that piece of cardstock, and then you just want to remove any excess plastic. I'm just going to open it up this way and just cut as close as I can, like so. Now move the join right up to the top there and just pop some tape along the top, right up to the top, like so. And again, make sure none of it's overhanging. You don't want any stickiness anywhere else apart from on that plastic. You then want to stick this piece onto there. And then you want to take the release paper off. Make sure that sticky part is right along the top here. And then you're going to sit this so the top of this piece lines up with the top of that, and it's all in the middle. Then the one on the back is going to stick, but stick along the bottom here. So as you pull that one, this one will slide down, and that's what's going to pop out the bottom of the card. So just going to bring that back up again and just check each time that you've got that nice movement. Okay, so whilst that's drying, I'm going to go back to this piece here and just do a little bit of inking. I'll just show you the colours. This is exactly what I did during the live. So I'm just going to spray just a little bit of spray adhesive on the back there just to hold that down on my mat. Don't worry about that, that all dries. And then I've already got a spray adhesive on the back of the stencil. So I'm just going to sit this one down so it's nice and straight. About there. And then the colours that I used, I've used these ones here. So we've got Squeezed Lemonade, Picked Raspberry, Kitsch Flamingo and Spiced Marmalade. First of all, went in with the Kitsch Flamingo and just started adding just little pops of colour. And then a little of the yellow. And these colours just blend so well together. And I just want to get a bit of each colour in all the clouds really. And then go back over with any other colours that you want to go over until you're happy with the coverage that you've got. And then just remove my stencil and you see you've got that really lovely background, and just peel that off. And that's now ready. Take that bit away there. There we go. Now whilst I've got my blending mat out, I've got these two pieces here, and I'm just going to cut just like a curve shape into the top there, so it just looks like little rolling hills. And then I'm going to flip this one over, do this one a little bit deeper, and then flip it back that way. And you can see once that one's on top, we've got that cute little scene, but I just want it to pop a little bit more. So I've got the rustic wilderness here, and I'm just going to go around the edges. You can see the effect you get. Can you see how much now you can see those two layers? So I'm just bringing in that darker green just around the edges and just drag that down, and you'll just get a nice blend. I'm just doing it on the top until you get a nice finish there. So now when I sit that one over the top, you can see all that detail. Okay, so now you want these two pieces. So I'm going to flip this one over, and now I'm going to run my tape along the bottom. Like so. Again, take off the backing, make sure it's all the right way up, and then you're going to flip this one over and stick this along the bottom. Exactly the same way, just make sure it runs right along that line. It's nice and straight. Like so. Now if this is a bit sticky, if you've done what I've done with the spray adhesive, just rub that off. If you've got a little glue eraser here, you'll just take off that stickiness, because you don't want anything catching. So that's gone now. So now if you imagine once it's stuck down, pull that, the bottom one will go down, and just check that it does that motion. It might move a little bit because you haven't got it into place on the card yet, but the actual motion works. Okay, so that's where you need to be with that. Next, I've got some foam strips here that I've made myself. So I've just stuck my foam tape here onto some wax paper, greaseproof paper. I'm not sure exactly, it's called different things in different parts of the world, but by doing that it means you can then cut your own strips, thin strips, and then just take the backing off. So I've done these ones earlier, and I've shared this tip from, you know, quite a few years on the channel in different tutorials. You don't always have to buy the thin strips, although they are handy. You can easily make them yourself as well. And if you don't have foam tape and you've just got foam squares, you can use them. Just cut them so that you're going to fit into this section here. So I'm just going to add strips down all of these sides. So you want to do the front and the back. Okay, so they are now all stuck down. So take them off the back here, and I would open up the card like so. And you want to focus on the bottom here. You can see, I'll just pull this one up here. So you can see it's about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. But like I said, you could have this positioned right down here if you wanted to, and then decorate some more at the top. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to focus on that, so I'm going to bring it down so it's about there. Again, nice and straight, and just make sure that you got the sides equally spaced. It's about 1/4 of an inch in from each side there. That all looks nice and straight, like so. And then take the backing off the top here, and then take this one, and I'm just going to line it up with the bottom, and again make sure it's equally spaced. The side should line up with the matte layer here, like so. And now you should be able to test that and it will work really well. I'm liking it now that I've got just something filling this space. You could have another little message there as well, but that works really well. Then I've got this one, so I'm going to stick that down with some more foam. So I'm just going to run a strip along the bottom. I like to add a little bit of wet glue on top, so you've just got a bit of wiggle space, because I want the dimensions so I can pop my little critters and the eggs and stuff underneath. So just sit that one down in that corner and then across to the other side, like so. So I've already cut the word Easter. Now I've got Centura Pearl cardstock for the top, so I've got that nice shine, and then I've cut them all using self-adhesive foam. So I've run it through first with the foam, which has got adhesive on both sides. So I'm just taking the release paper off the front, and then there's the one I've die cut in the Centura Pearl, and then I'll just stick that one over the back. So now we've got a dimensional letter. You can do it with sentiments. I love doing this, and now you can see that fits in there just right. So then all I've got to do is take the release paper off the back and stick those all down. And then we've got our cute little characters. So I'm thinking about having him just there, and I'm going to pop him up on some foam, and then he's going to be probably there as well. Actually, I'll have them in the same kind of place. And then I've got my eggs here, so I think this time we will have pink one behind there, and then I've got all the smaller ones. So let's have a couple of smaller eggs around there. Now we have the bunny popping up from the back, so he's going to be just there with the carrot. So whatever you stick on this piece needs to be completely stuck down. Don't put any foam on there, so that when that goes down, you'll see once that's stuck, that completely hides. But you could build up something else here. You could maybe have a bush or a tree. So, you know, if you've got something bigger, then he will, or she, or it, whatever it is, will hide behind that quite nicely. But that's going to be about there. So I might not end up using all of these because there's quite a few. Let's bring in the little, maybe I'll have the mouse this time, because I don't think I used him on the other one. So we'll have the little mouse there, and then we could have these eggs, something like that. And then we've got all the little flowers, the daisies, and I've got the birds as well. Make sure the birds are high up so that you could put them on foam, but then they won't catch obviously when they go down. So I think that one I could have over there. So you get the idea. I've also just punched myself a 1-inch circle, and I've just stamped the word pull, and I'm going to stick that just behind there, like so. So I'm going to get this all stuck down. Card finished. I'm just going to add a little bit of my accent glaze just onto the eyes, and once that dries, that will be nice and clear and just give them a little bit of shine. I'll pop it in the center of that flower as well, and then I'll pop it on the bunny in a minute. But you can see now how that all looks together. It's so cute. I've added the bird there, pop the pull tab on, that all slides down, so that's how it'll be when they receive it. And then cute little bunny pops up, Easter celebrations, and then you've got all your space inside there. But like I said, these stand up, which is what I wanted, because a lot of kinetic cards, you know, you can't always stand them up, so I tried to look at ways to make sure you can. So thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this fun little slide and hide card and an Easter theme, but like I said, it can be used for any, you know, occasions. I think, you know, great for birthday cards. It could be a birthday invitation. I think that would look really cool as well. I will link, as always, everything that I've used in the description box below. Check out some other fun kinetic cards that are popping up now. Those don't require any dies. Also, if you've enjoyed today and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload something new. See you all again soon. Bye.